Anaheim 1, 2023. The Super Duper Motocross Championship is underway. I don't understand that. Anyway, I wanted to come on here, do a quick little 20-minute race on a compound track. I just picked out a random track. It's okay. Don't matter. I just want to come on here and talk about Anaheim 1. I was at this race here. Anaheim 1, 2023. What a crazy race. Before we get started, though, I know a lot of people who follow my channel, who are subscribed or watch my channel, know that, or at least they're probably here to hear my opinions on these Supercross games. I just want to say, I was able to test out Supercross 6, and yeah, if you played Supercross number 5 here, it's basically the same thing. What I can say, though, is that they added inside ruts. So like the pre-made ruts that we saw in MXGP 2021, they are on the track. Makes it a little bit tougher, but yeah, the game's pretty much the same. So anyway, for other people, let's talk about Anaheim 1 2023. I'm going to start off with the 250 class because not a lot happened in the 250 class. Most of the action is on the 450s, but I just want to come on here and just say that I was sitting in the stands. I was at this race, as I said. I was sitting in the stands about in tears by the time that 250 main kicked off because Austin Forkner cannot catch a break. Austin Forkner, if you don't already know, had a big crash off the start. And I got no updates here. All I know is that he had an MRI on his knee, and they checked out his hand as well. But I'm hearing maybe a broken femur, something in the leg is broken, which you gotta feel for that kid. Just like I said, cannot catch a break. That poor kid. Every single year, at least starting last year, it seemed like he was finally gonna calm down. He was actually gonna race for a championship. He wasn't gonna go crazy, and obviously Jet takes him out, cross jumps him. That wasn't his fault, even though I made a rant video about it. When it happened, that wasn't his fault. This Saturday was just start craziness. That is bound to happen, but of course it had to happen to Austin. Austin Forkner, I don't know. I heard Kawasaki might have a Monster Kawasaki might have a contract for him for 450 outdoors. Who knows if he'll be able to do that? But yeah, it was pretty hard to watch him ragdoll like that. And yeah, other than that, 250s was pretty much I think what everybody expected. Jet came out, got the start and took off and won the race. And I don't think he's going to win every single race this year. He is my pick for the 250 West Championship, but I don't think he's going to win every single race this year. I think Hampshire is going to get one. McAdoo's for sure going to get one. Pierce Brown, I've heard he is okay. First I heard broken arm for Pierce Brown, but I hear he's okay. And that's about all I have for the 250 class. But Forkner is going to be in some dark times here this year. So, not physically, obviously physically, but mentally too. But yeah, that's all I have for the 250 class, which is good because this 450 main event, I was thinking about this. So I was at the famous Vegas race back in 2017 when Osborne took out Savatgy and Tomac slowed up the whole field, and that race was crazy. I have to say this race, at least this main event for the 450 class, was better than Vegas 2017. That is my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and here's why. We take off, and after the first 250 heat race, I watched the start because it was the split start, which I'm actually shocked that they kept the whoops in there. But I watched the start to that first 250 heat race, and the outside looked, at least from where I was sitting, the outside looked like such a disadvantage. And then by the time the 450 main came around, Colt Nichols and Barsha come out 1-2 on the start, and they were on the outside of the tunnel. So I looked stupid there. And we go, and Barsha leads the first 3 laps. And then Tomac or Barsha gets squirrely over the. Well, he doesn't get squirrely. He just gets no drive going up the tunnel. I think he hit a rut or something, and Tomac gets around him. And the beginning of this race was absolutely crazy because Roxon looks good on that Suzuki. And yeah, Roxon just looks good on that Suzuki. He challenged, couldn't get around him. Then Barsha couldn't get the drive up the tunnel. Tomac gets around him, and they come into that section. After they go through the whoops, then they go past the mechanics, get into that tabletop looking section, I'm going to call it. And Barsha on the triple in the middle comes up short and he almost dies. He just comes up short and gets all squirrely and gets into the top box and goes down. So eliminate Barsha from contention. He goes back. He ended up 11th on the night, but he also had another crash that I did not see and have not seen yet. But eliminate him. So Tomac takes off. And I'm thinking, okay, Eli's going to win this race. Finally he's going to get A1. And then I was watching, I was like keeping track of him. And then all of a sudden, all I see is a Yamaha without a rider come over that tunnel. I'm like, oh no. And Tomac goes down. And everyone goes, I'm telling you, right after this, I don't think I've ever been a part of a crowd that was that loud. And I have watched the main event broadcast quite a few times here. That crowd was great. Like, you couldn't even hear the broadcaster. And I'm telling you right now, in the stadium, when Malcolm Stewart took that lead, when Malcolm Stewart passed Ken Roxon, oh my goodness, we were going wild. I was in the, when Malcolm takes the lead after Tomac goes down, and I'm checking my heart rate. Well, I don't have no heart rate monitor, I'm just feeling my heart. And oh my god, it was higher than normal. This was one of those races that if your heart rate wasn't a little bit high, then you're just not a fan of the sport here. But Malcolm takes the lead and kind of takes off. I'm going to put that loosely because in the broadcast you can't see it. Malcolm's in the lead, and Chase Sexton almost dies on the 3-3-3-3-3, however many three, almost dies there, and Malcolm has a bit of a gap. But as expected, for me at least, Chase does catch him, puts a move on him, and Chase Sexton in the press conference did say that he did not mean to hit Malcolm like that. And then Chase Sexton takes the lead, and then Tomac's coming through as well, and Tomac gets around Malcolm, and after Chase Sexton took the lead, I thought Chase was going to win this race, and that just didn't happen. Tomac catches him. Tomac almost takes him down. Almost. I don't think he meant to do that. Or actually before that, Chase Sexton, when he messed up that rhythm section when Tomac was catching him, I think he said in the press conference that he came out of that corner and in the wrong gear and still went for it, and it just went terrible. And that track, let me talk about the track. That track got better as the night went on, but still it was rough. I've heard East Coast rough. That track in practice was borderline a mutter. It was terrible in practice. Tomac all day, though, looked great in it. Even in practice, I only watched the second qualifyings. I usually go down to the front row for the qualifiers. And yeah, that track, that corner where Anderson fell down, that corner was muddy. And it was, like I said, borderline a mud race in practice. But yeah, then the whole race, at least, I was a little concerned with Jason Anderson after the start because he was kind of buried. But just like San Diego last year, he starts making his way through the pack. And I'm thinking, I'm telling my dad who's sitting next to me, I'm going, watch Jason, he's going to have something to say. And I believe Jason was at least going to get the podium had he not tipped over trying to make the move on Kenny, because he was going past Kenny at the moment. He was going past Kenny when he was tipping over. So, yeah, I believe, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but at least for me, I believe that Jason Anderson would have had something to say about this win. That was very much like Anaheim won last year. That was very much like San Diego last year. Man was coming through. I do think that crash in practice, though, for Jason kind of humbled him, or opened his eyes a little bit, like, okay, he can't push his track, and you could not push his track on Saturday. So, anyway, Eli gets around Chase, and from there, Eli leads the whole race. But then they come into the section, the tabletop section, and Malcolm goes over the bars. And if you guys listen to Bubba's World, the podcast that James Stewart does, you probably know who Cole Beach is. And I texted him after the race and said, "Is Malcolm okay?" And Malcolm is okay. I know Malcolm's done an update since then saying he's okay, but Malcolm will be fine for Oakland. But that was a bummer. I honestly, literally, as he's leading the race, I'm just going, 10 more minutes, let's go, Malcolm, 10 more minutes. There was a little bit of time in this race where I thought Malcolm Stewart was going to win. And then it looked like Tomac and Sexton were just going to go 1-2, but then out of nowhere, here comes Cooper Webb. And I'm telling you right now, if they have that bike straightened out for Coop and Eli are going to be dangerous this year. The fact that Eli Tomac just won, Anaheim won, and we know historically Tomac is not good here. I'm telling you right now, if he wins either Oakland or San Diego, these boys are screwed. I'm just going to straight up, these boys are fucked. Let's be real. These boys are screwed. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think Chase is going to get wins. Jason's still going to get wins. Tomac is going to blow by Stu's record, I believe. That win for Eli put him 4th all-time, passing Chad Reed, which is absolutely incredible. Eli Tomac, statistics-wise, is better than Chad Reed now. I never thought that would happen. And yeah, that's about all I have. Colt Nichols got 6th. I don't even know how Colt Nichols got. There was a lot of every year or every race, crazy race at least, we have a lot of what if this happened? What if this never happened? There was a lot of that. Like, what if Barsha never went down? What if Anderson never went down? What if Malcolm never went down? I'm telling you right now, if Jason Anderson and Malcolm Stewart don't have their issues, Cooper Webb does not get 2nd. Cooper Webb at that point gets like 4th or 5th. Man, I don't even know. And I'm going to leave it down to you guys to tell me what you thought about this crazy Anaheim 1 race if you were there. If you weren't there, this was absolutely loud. Like I said, I don't think I've ever been to a stadium. That stadium was loud on Saturday. Adam Cianciarulo made it through. He made it through last year, but he made it through with a top 10, which obviously he got a little help from Barsha just crashing somewhere. But yeah, Eli Tomac wins A1. Jet Lawrence wins A1. Tomac is a little bit of a surprise, but Eli or Jet, not a surprise at all. I hope Faulkner's all right. And as for Oakland, mud race. It is raining all week in Oakland. It is raining on race day in Oakland. So yeah, that'll throw a little bit of monkey wrench. This is a race that I could see Plessinger winning. It has been, I'm telling you right now, if the races continue to go like they are, this Triple Crown in a few weeks is going to be gnarly. But yeah, A1 is over, and The 2023 season has begun. I just have no words. I don't know who's gonna win the championship yet. Like we say every year, somebody can come out and just shock us, and I believe that'll happen. Dylan Ferrandis got 4th in A1. That is a good sign. Dylan could possibly win this weekend. I don't know. I could see Oakland being a little bit more wilder because of the mud. Yeah, we could see some bike malfunctions in Oakland. If you thought you saw everything at Anaheim, you're probably gonna see you need to watch Oakland, see if we can see more. So, yeah. That's it for my A1 recap here. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and hit that subscribe button. Also, I uploaded opening ceremonies from Anaheim 1. Go check that one out too. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this A1 race. And yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you next time.